Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Frenkie De Jong and his position within the club, like literally on the field and also off the field. I do believe that right now it is a very important topic because right now we do have to know what is the future of Frenkie De Jong, like where is this player going to go with FC Barcelona now knowing that he is for sure going to be continuing this season. And because there has been reports and there has also been many games that has shown us that this could be the future of Frenkie and what we could expect to see within the next couple of years. And so again, I know it does seem very unclear right now, but we are going to be explaining everything within this video. It is going to be a very fun one, and just hearing what Xavi does have in mind for the future of Frenkie, we're also going to be discussing how this does affect FC Barcelona in the long run. So before we go into any of this, I do want to speak about our sponsor for today, and that is the OneFootball app. If you guys want to find out where I do get my information when it comes to like all of these stories of Frenkie De Jong, or if you do want to follow a specific player or a specific team like FC Barcelona or Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Manchester City, all of that information is going to be compact within the OneFootball app. They have great articles, team stats, player stats, and again, it's all compact within the OneFootball app. If you do want to download the OneFootball app, you can so by scanning the QR code that you do see here on the screen, and there's also going to be a link down below that's clickable. It'll take you straight to the App Store. You can download the OneFootball app, set exactly who and what you do want to follow, and then you'll be set and done from there. You'll be notified immediately and live on your phone. It is for free. I hope you guys do enjoy it. But now let's go back into this video and let's talk about just the overall situation of Frenkie. Because look, let me give you guys some context to understand where we are coming from. In the past summer, everything did indicate that Frenkie De Jong was going to be leaving FC Barcelona, like he was going to be taking that exit. One of the main reasons on why he was in a way being pushed away from FC Barcelona, it is because there was no real position for this player like at all. And also Barcelona saw this as a financial gain. They're like, look, we can sell Frenkie De Jong for a good amount, bring in Bernardo Silva, because this is a player that does suit FC Barcelona way more than someone like Frenkie De Jong. And I think that many of us can come to an agreement that yes, there was not really a place for Frenkie De Jong within the starting 11 based off what we did see previously from that summer. Like as a interior, he was not as good as Xavi and Pedri. When it came to him playing as a central defensive midfielder, he did not look very comfortable. And we're talking about the season where Ronald Koeman and also Xavi Hernández did take over. It just wasn't the season for him. And then fast forwarding until like the end of the summer, nothing was done, right? Like Frenkie did not move anywhere only because he said himself that he does want to stay. He does not want to go anywhere else but to continue at FC Barcelona. And I remember looking at those preseason games, looking at the Gamper game that we also did see, he looked in a way very tense. Like he did not look like he was in a good state of mind. It's almost as if he already knew exactly what was going on. He knew, right, that the club, FC Barcelona, wanted this player out. And we know Frenkie De Jong, we know that mentally he's always going to be there to react in those tough situations and try to prove to the world that yes, he is a quality player, and also he is a player that does like to compete in healthy competition. So whatever was happening within that summer, it did not really sit well with him, because he's like, okay, fine, if I'm going to be placed in a position like this, I'm going to show everybody here why you might potentially make a mistake, because I am a quality player. So the reason why I am giving you guys this type of context and this type of backstory is because this saga that we saw in the summer, I strongly believe this is the reason why we are seeing the Frenkie of today, the one that we saw in that game against Elche, and why he has been performing very well. I strongly believe that Xavi Hernández and also Frenkie De Jong had a conversation, and they're like, okay, look, you're here, right, Frenkie? You're here at this club. You cannot move anywhere. It is what it is. Now moving forward, we're going to have to readjust your role and find the best role for you, because at the end of the day, you're going to continue here at FC Barcelona, and so it is what it is. And the whole idea that we have been seeing during this season and what Xavi Hernández has planned for Frenkie is for him to play as the pivot within the midfield. And surprisingly, the more he does play within a position like this, he is only getting better and better. And it's also starting to get way more consistent in terms of him playing within a position like this. So when they probably had that conversation, once the transfer window was closed and they finished preseason, they're like, okay, this is going to be the idea. We're going to slowly integrate you into the pivot position. It's going to be probably a different role compared to Busquets, but I believe that this is going to be the role that will suit you the best. And it does say here, according to Ferran Correas, Frenkie De Jong has played as the pivot in all 3 games where Busquets did not play. Xavi has chosen Frenkie De Jong to replace Busquets as the pivot. Busquets' contract does end in the summer of 2023. So again, this is a report that is speaking based off what we did see in the past couple of games. I don't think that this was a report based off what Xavi did say, and that the report is like, okay, Xavi told me this, and this is why I'm saying that Xavi Hernández does rely on Frenkie De Jong to replace Sergio Busquets. It's just going based off what we did see in the previous games, which is very true. Like if we see how Frankie has been used, you can see that the intentions of Xavi is to use this player as the future replacement. We saw him play as a pivot against Elche, against Victoria Pleasant, against Real Valladolid, and we have won in all of those 3 games. And now look, like I've said before, right, now seeing that it is quite clear that the intentions is to slowly integrate Frenkie De Jong as the pivot, if you were to ask me and you were to tell me if Frankie does stay at this level, like what we did see going up against Elche, and he does not improve, do I believe that this is a player that can continue within a position like this for the rest of the season? I will still say no. I'll be like, no, he's not good enough. But the fact that he is progressing and the fact that we know he will get even better, I think that we should continue to use him within a position like this. And I think that by the end of this season, he will fully understand what his role is going to be in those type of areas. And the reason why I believe that this player will progress, why he will continue to get better, it is because first of all, we have seen it. We already see him getting better and better. We know that this is a player that is very smart. He is also very adjustable. It just takes the right coach to reinvent this player. Not every coach can do that. And we have seen things like this happen before in football in general. Like for example, Klopp, he changed the position of Mane when he moved to Liverpool. Pep Guardiola changed the position and the role of Bernardo Silva, made him even better. And the same thing with like Lionel Messi back in 2009 and switched him into a false 9 position. Look at how Lam, who was a fullback before, switched into a central defensive midfielder under Pep Guardiola, and now we are seeing the exact same thing with Xavi and Frenkie De Jong. So these things do happen. It just takes the right coach to do the type of work like this. Xavi's biggest work and the biggest goal through this season, besides winning trophies, is to also fix the position of the pivot position, which is to replace Busquets, and that is extremely hard. Like yes, there's also problems on the defense. Yes, we have to reinforce those positions also in the front 3, but the biggest goal and the biggest obstacle is always going to be who is going to be replacing Busquets in the future after he does leave. And again, everything does indicate that the answer to that, it is going to be Frenkie De Jong. But now I want to move on towards the next phase, because now let's talk about what are the ripple effects. What does this mean for the future of FC Barcelona? So let me tell you guys, I don't think that Barcelona going into that summer of 2023 no longer have to worry about spending huge to bring in a world-class central defensive midfielder, because I thought that we were probably going to be spending a lot within a position like this, like bringing someone like Rodri or just somebody else that's going to cost us like around 85 to 90 million euros. But seeing how Frankie is performing, if he ends up being a world-class player in a position like this by next year, then I believe that Xavi will be very comfortable just revolving around Frankie in that position, and Kessie and also Nico Gonzalez as the substitutions for Frenkie De Jong, revolving around these 3 players. And then we can use these resources, now seeing that we don't have to spend a lot of money within the midfield, use these resources and maybe focus on reinforcing the full-back position, and to be more specific, the right-back position, and maybe potentially bring someone like Trent, a player that I have been talking about all over the social medias. I think that yes, it is possible to bring in someone like Trent and take him away from Liverpool. Trent has shown many times that he highly does admire a team like FC Barcelona. So again, if we do not have to invest a lot within the midfield no more, and we no longer have to bring a player like Rodri, maybe we can also use our resources to focus on the left wing position and bring someone like Leao from AC Milan. Because if you were to ask me, because I know many are going to be saying, what about the left back position? Don't you want to bring someone like Alphonso Davies or some other left back? I don't think so. I think that Alejandro Balde is a great left back. I think that he will prosper, and that is also another area where I believe Barcelona is going to be saving money. So maybe we could focus on bringing in someone like Leao, reinforce the left wing position, move Ferran Torres away from that position, use him as a striker, because I think that him playing as a striker, he has been doing phenomenal. And then having Ferran being the backup to Lewandowski, Dembele and Rafinha on the right side as options, and then having Ansu Fati and Leao on the left wing position as options, of course. So you can do a lot, right? Keeping Frankie, saving money, relocating our resources towards different positions is going to greatly benefit FC Barcelona, and I can't wait to see how Frenkie De Jong just continues to evolve within the midfield like that. Having a midfield of Frankie, Gavi and Pedri is just going to be a monstrous midfield that can bring so many results to Xavi's FC Barcelona. So that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.